Yeah, how you doing, everybody? It's Wednesday the 30th of December 2009, and it's just after 8 o'clock in the evening here. And what I wanted to do tonight is I just wanted to continue on with, I've made the last post and it was 5 or 6 things that I nominated up as part of a little agenda for a better society, and I want to continue that on with a final 4, so to make it up there round sort of figure of 10. And so I had because one of them I wanted to include last night, but I had to think about it a little bit, and I didn't really have time anyway to include. The 7th thing I want to talk about is about tax, and I've come to the conclusion that the way I see it is that everybody who's over 18, once you become 18 in the Republic, you're allowed to vote. So I think everybody who's a citizen of the Republic must pay tax. No exceptions, no tax exiles, no super rich getting away. Everybody, from the lowliest student right up to the oldest old age pensioner. Small people only pay a tiny amount of tax. People that earn a lot of money pay a lot of tax. Sorry about that. That's the way it should be, and that's the way it should be. It's a capitalist society. Alright? A lot of people aren't going to find that unpalatable. My thinking about it is very, very simple. I think that when you're a citizen of the Republic, you should never be given an opportunity to opt out of the Republic. You're part of this scenario we're in. Everybody's part of it. And there should be no exceptions. Absolutely none. You're either in it, or if you don't like it, get out. Alright? Dead simple. And there's an amendment to that, and the amendment is we have to work out some sort of a health tax, a specific health tax for a universal health service, a proper universal health service, not run by an obese Minister of Health like we have here in Ireland, run by somebody who knows about health, somebody who's genuinely interested in health, alright, who knows about it and has an insight into it and can conduct it and isn't afraid to face down people like the surgeons of this country. Okay, but that's another day's work. The next thing I want to talk about is the educational system, and I think at the core of the educational system, the reform that I'd want to talk about is I want to talk about the separation of state and religion. And the way I see that done is we should have, this is the way it should be done. When you go into schools, there should be no photographs of popes up on the wall or any of that stuff. There should be only one thing. A flag should be flying outside all state buildings, including the schools. Our national flag. And when you go in the corridor, which is the opening, the reception area for the school, the national flag should be flying inside. Alright? And on every classroom, from their cognizant children, from, I tell you, I have to do it from second level forward, say from their 12 up until they're 18, every single classroom and every lecture hall, there should be a copy of the Constitution. Bound copy of the Constitution hanging so you can have on a lectern, so you can have a look at it. Okay? To do it in Bible schools, why can't we do it here? Alright? People want to study the religion. I have no objection to people studying the religion. You can do it outside the school curriculum. It should be not part of the school curriculum. And all this binging and bonging business on the television twice a day or 3 times a day, the mullahs calling the people to prayer, that all has to stop. That Angela stuff, all that has to stop. Religion's a private matter. State has nothing to do with it. If you want to go to Catholic schools, you want to go to Muslim schools, that's fine. One big problem though, to pay tax. Oh yeah. Because they would see themselves as elitist then, you see. Can't have that stuff. Everybody must go through the same system. Have to get rid of all this class system. Again, the good and the mighty are not going to like that, are they? No. Oh my God, my cashmere coat might touch against the grill unwashed. Anyway, then the 9th thing is constitutional rights for the weakest people in society. Weakest people in society, generally speaking, are children, old age pensioners, and people in state care. I'm talking about prisoners, and I'm talking about people in mental hospitals. And we all know what the prisons and the mental hospitals in this state, and we all know what lots of nursing homes are like in this state for OAPs. And we also know what a lot of state-run places were like for children in this state. Filthy, rat-infested holes that you wouldn't even put a rat into. And we also know what a lot of our schools are like. We've already discussed this at length. So all that will have to change. All that would have to change. In other words, if you had a minister who sent children into a school that wasn't up to par, wasn't up to scratch, and was rat infested, or was some serious health hazard, he'd be arrested. He'd be stuck in a pokey. I'd soon sort it out very, very quick. I'd soon sort it out terrible quick. But we know again that's not going to happen, because that would upset the good and the mighty. You know what I mean? And anyway, then the final thing is the Taoiseach, the man that runs the whole show. In this country, it's a joke. He's a joke. Well, they've all been jokes from Charles J. Hoy forward, if you think about it. You know, Charles Hoy, 14 million, I reckon. He admitted he got 14 million. He probably got a lot more from all the good and the mighty and Braves and backhanders and all that. And then he got Albert Reynolds, brought down legitimately elected government because he wasn't unable to fire as Attorney General. Then you come forward into the Ahern Muppet, stuffing up on top of a chair, stuffing holes in the wall with 50 grand, 80 grand, all this all pathetic stuff. And then this Muppet here, this Muppet's run up, he doesn't know his earth from his elbow, this fella. But anyway, if we had a proper man, he should be elected by the people. I don't know how that would be done. We'd have to amend the constitutional basis of our electoral process to do that. But it should be done. The people should select the guy who runs the country. He should be the number one guy. He should be the best paid within the state sector, not the semi-state sector. We have to keep it separate. Within the state sector, he should be number one. All the ministers should be paid less than him. All the first secretaries and all the various departments should be paid less than him. All the judges should be paid less than him. He is the man. The buck stops with him. If the shit hits the fan and he's not up to it, get rid of him and get another one. But we know again that's not going to happen. Might upset the good and the mighty. Might upset that, that little crowd up the top of the triangle. Might upset them. So, anyway, that's the 10. That's the 10 items. I've thrown them out. I'm sure other people will come up with other things. They're just debating points, but the bottom line is that even if we could get one or two of them implemented, the whistleblower charter is an obvious one. If we can get that initiated and brought up, it would help in society. Because that's all you can do. Outside of having a revolution, you can only reform society. And the people aren't radicalised enough for a revolution or anything like that, so we can forget about that for the foreseeable future. That's not going to happen, and I'm certainly not going to live to see it happen, so we can forget about that. We can only hope to bring about reformable change in society, and this is one of the these that I'm suggesting, this 10 little items. So that's really all, and we'll talk again tomorrow. All right, bye.